As many of you know, my husband, Sunday Backyard Farmer, does an excellent job when it comes to landscaping a garden and getting in some dirt. However, he needs a harvester. Voila, there it is. Blessed be the fruit. Hey guys, so you saw me harvest from the garden. Yes, I harvested from Sunday Backyard Farmer's garden, and it was a delight. I am able to make this video with his permission because I was like, babe, I'm gonna make some pickled peppers for the first time. Should I record it? He said, absolutely. Thank you, Team Sunday Backyard Farmer. Anyway, before we get further into this video, if you have not, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the little notification bell so that you'll know when new content is uploaded. And let's get into this video. I will be pickling peppers for the first time. Let's say that again, people. Pickling peppers for the first time. Doesn't that just make you sound like you're doing something? Say, Peter Pepper pick peppers, but rhymes. Okay, anyway, that's old school. So what peppers will I be pickling? We have some banana peppers straight out the garden. This one is pretty big. I hope it still has some taste to it. But yes, banana peppers. Tons of jalapenos. Yes, I love jalapeno peppers. And then these did not come from the garden, but I'm going to put them inside of some of my jars. And then I'm going to put them in a jar by themselves. This is cayenne pepper. Thank you, Cherie. My Cherie amor. Yes, peekaboo. So there you have it. So that's most important. You gotta have your peppers so you can pickle them. Now, my brine, the second most important part, probably the most important part, because you can have the peppers. If you don't have your brine right, honey, then we in trouble. I have a big container of white vinegar. One of the recipes I found online says for the banana peppers, you're gonna also add apple cider vinegar. Both of them, I'm going to add sugar, but I'm going to play around with that because I think I want to add a little bit more than what they are prescribing. Kosher salt. I also have some pickling spice. One of the recipes, it says, well, put a little celery seed, put a little mustard seed, put a little honey. I can use this right here. Both of them say to smash 2 cloves of garlic. So I have elephant garlic, and I'm going to make it do what it do. Now, I'm going to put them in these jars, these right here. And yeah, we have tons of jars. As many of you who follow my husband, he has been collecting jars for a long time for this moment when his wife was finally going to turn to the other side of the fork, the canning. But this isn't officially like a canning thing because I am not going to do a water bath. These, and because I'm not, they can stay in the refrigerator from 2 to 3 months in the refrigerator. Nothing will happen to them. But if I were doing canning, they could last even longer. But they won't last that long here, I promise you. So yes, I can put them in the refrigerator and we will be good to go. But if you want to learn how to do water bathing, go over to Black's Tropical Homestead. They did a wonderful video where Cherie actually had guests who are excellent at canning, follow all the USDA guidelines, and they can teach you how to properly do that. We're not getting that deep into it, okay? But we will be safe because this is going for my family. So we have all of this. I have rinsed the peppers off of any residual dirt or anything that was out there in the garden. I have my pots behind me, so guess what? We're gonna get to it. And thank you for joining me on this journey. This is my first time, and I'm sharing it with you, so we are praying for the best. Oh, and by the way, do you see that tee? Covered by the blood. If you would like one of these t-shirts, please visit justdorsha.com. Go to where it says inspires, and then there's a drop down page, and it is soul food. Food to feed your soul, where I have my soul food merch. Yes, I also have there a ray of sunshine, but this one is covered by the blood. Get your tea today. Peekaboo. All right, well, let's get into this video. In a medium saucepan, we're going to add 1 1/4 cups of distilled water, 1 1/4 cup of distilled white vinegar, 2 cloves of smashed garlic. Oops, make sure we get everything. It says to add 1/4 cup of sugar, but I'm adding a 1/2 cup of sugar. Woo, yes. And 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. And this is kosher, okay? I'm going to stir this. And we are to let it heat until it boils and the sugar and the salt dissolves. So, in the meantime, let's go over to the other counter and cut up our peppers. So we're going to slice the jalapenos. First, I'm going to take this part off, and then I'm going to slice. Now, the way that you slice it is going to depend on how large you want them, but I want them the size that they would regularly be if I were to buy them out of the store. So look at this. Now the seeds are hot, and you can take out some if you want, or leave them all in there. I am going to leave a lot of them in there. So that was 2. 3. The recipe that I'm doing, it says that you can actually put 20 jalapenos in there. So we'll see. That's 4. And I won't bore you with all of the details of me cutting them. So hold tight. This is 10 jalapenos, and I feel comfortable with putting these in here because I have to press them underneath of the brine. If I would have done 20, I don't think that it would have made it. So let's go over to the stove. It's boiling, the sugar and salt has dissolved, and now I'm going to put the 10 sliced jalapenos in the brine. Make sure they're all in there. And I'm going to add a cayenne pepper for good measure. That's something I wanted to try out. You have to, once it boils and you add these, then you have to make sure they are submerged under the pickling liquids, and then remove the pot from the heat and let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes. So it has done that, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to put it over there and let it do what it do. I have 2 jars. I have some tongs. I'm going to use the tongs, and I'm going to place the jalapenos inside of the jar. This is really making me believe that I could have went ahead and cut up the other ones, because they didn't, when it cooked down, they're not as much as they were. So I'll use the rest of the brine to cook about 10 more. But anyway, once you fill it up, which this will be filled as soon as I empty those 10, then you'll use a ladle and you will put the brine inside of that. And you have to let the jalapenos get to room temperature before you can seal the jar. So stay tuned. I have more cutting to do. I'm back all together 27 jalapenos. I'm going to put the rest in here, the last 7. And I have noticed that this, which I would normally use for my pasta, this works better for getting jalapenos instead of tongs. Trust me on this. 27 jalapenos, honey. Yes. So that's everything that I harvested today are in these jars. All of the banana peppers, all of the jalapenos. Now, I do have to share this with you. My son, Amir, and I tasted the jalapenos as is. And they are absolutely delicious, okay? I'm just like, this brine, it works. Now, I will take my ladle, but you don't have to do the ladle. You know what I'm saying? You could just put it into a measuring cup, really. And I'm gonna do this about the same, a ½ inch, okay? But this brine, I promise you, it works. This recipe is awesome. Now, remember, I did tweak it though. Remember that part. I added a ½ cup of sugar versus a 1/4 cup. And remember, these are going into the refrigerator. So they probably won't last long because they are delicious. Woo, honey, I promise you. Yes, I can't wait for the family. We're gonna do a tasting of peppers. Probably the jalapeno ones first because they don't have to sit for 10 days. The other ones do. There you have it, 27. Now, what you will see in this one, I have a cayenne pepper, but in both of them, there's the chunks of the garlic, okay? Voila, and that's it. I did it. Let's get into cutting the banana peppers. Once again, I don't want it too large, so you see this? To me, these aren't as hot as jalapenos. And as I see from here, it's not as seedy either. Yeah. Look at that. I'm gonna taste one. Not bad. So anyway, let's get started with the brine. So here you have it, about 10 banana peppers. Now the recipe calls for 1 pound. Yeah, this is probably a little over a pound, but yeah. So we're gonna make this do what it do. Let's get into the brine. I'm gonna start putting the peppers inside of the jars. Now, I did taste a difference between the large peppers and the small. The bigger they are, the sweeter they are. Well, at least that's what I experienced. So, look at this. This is going to be enough for 2 jars. I'm going to press them down some. Give our bang for our buck. For our gardening buck. Ooh, yes. Look at this. That was perfect. There you have it. Now I'm going to get my brine and I'm going to pour that on top of them. Okay, I poured some of the brine into a measuring cup so I could pour. It says pour till it's about a ½ inch. And that's about it. Pour till it's about a ½ inch. And that's it. Yep. And I have enough to make one more batch. But look at this. You see this? Now, I have to put the lid on. Let me make sure this is dry. Put that on. Put this on. Now I'm going to tighten this. Tighten this. And voila, I have them. I'm actually going to put the dates on there. It takes about 1 week for them to be ready. They said if you can wait that long. So I'll have to do a little tasting with the family so you'll know how these turned out. Okay, so that's it. I am finished, okay? I did my first pickling and peppers. And I love peppers, okay? So you have the jalapeno peppers, one with a hot, cayenne pepper inside. And then I have banana peppers, one with a cayenne pepper inside. And then I did one that's a mixture of all of them. Cayenne, banana, and jalapenos. Now, the difference is that these right here, the jalapenos, they are ready to rock and roll. We could have those tonight. The banana peppers, on the other hand, they have to sit for 10 days. But all of them will go inside of the refrigerator. Because there is no pressure canning involved with the water bath, all that, these can last up to 2 months in the refrigerator. If I did do that other process, they could last even longer, but I don't need them to last that long because I like to have jalapenos at least probably at least once a month or until I run out, which is probably like once a month. So there you have it. Thank you for joining me on this experience. Once again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button for this video. And remember, on YouTube, sharing is caring. Until next time, thank you for joining me. Hashtag Dorsha Pickles. All right, take care.